Hey Karthi,
கேக்குதா சார்?
கார்த்தி குட் ஈவினிங்ப்பா.
குட் ஈவினிங் சார்.
கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம் வாய்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் ஆடிபிளா எடுத்துக்கலாமே.
கேட்கலையா? ஒரு செகண்ட்.
வாய்ஸ் கிளியரா இல்ல.
எனக்கு எந்த கனெக்டா இருக்கு? இப்போ சார் ஓகேவா? ஹலோ ஹலோ சார் கேக்குதா?
இல்லப்பா, ரொம்ப ஸ்லோவா இருக்கு. நான் இங்க ஃபுல்லா தான் வச்சிருக்கேன் ஸ்பீக்கரு.
நான் கிட்ட தான் சார் பேசிட்டு இருக்கேன். ஹலோ.
ஹலோ. இப் என் வாய்ஸ் உனக்கு கிளியரா இருக்கா?
உங்க வாய்ஸ் எனக்கு தெளிவா கேக்குது. என் வாய்ஸ் உங்களுக்கு ஸ்லோவா கேக்குதா?
கொஞ்சம் இன்னும் லைட்டா ஏத்து. நீ எப்படி
நான் நான்
இயர்ஃபோன்ஸ் ஏதாவது போட்டு பேசுறியா?
நான் இயர்ஃபோன்ஸ் போட்டிருக்கேன். பட் மைக்ரோஃபோன் வந்து மேக்கோட தான் கனெக்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். எனக்கு இங்கே வந்து ஃபுல்லாக தான் காட்டுது நான் பேசுறது.
யா. சரி,
சரி.
உன்னோட ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேர் பண்றியா? ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேர் பண்ணு.
ஹலோ ஹலோ. மைக் டெஸ்டிங்லேயும் ஒழுங்காக தான் சார் வருது.
யா.
ஆமாம். ஸ்க்ரீன் ஷேர் பண்ணுறேன்.
ஓகே.
என்னால் வெறும் பிபிடி மட்டும் ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படின்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா, எஸ், என்னால்
உன்னை உன்னை கோஹோஸ்ட் ஆக்கிட்டேன். ஸோ நீ
ஓகே.
ஷேர் பண்ணலாம்.
ஸோ எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு
ஆ
இப்போ பிபிடி தெரியும். கரெக்டா?
ஓகே.
ஓகே சார்.
உனக்கு ஸ்கிரீன் மூவ் ஆகுதான்னு பாரு. ஒரு ஒரு அப்படியே ஸ்லைட் ஷோ வச்சு மூவ் ஆகுதான்னு பாரு.
கண்டினியூ டு ஷேர். தெரியுதா சார்? ஃபுல் ஸ்க்ரீன்
ஆ
தெரியுதா?
நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்கிரீன். ஓகேப்பா, சூப்பர். சூப்பர் சூப்பர் சூப்பர்.
தெரியுதுல? ஓகே சார்.
ம்.
வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணிக்கணுமா?
வீடியோ நீ ஆன்ல, உன்னோட வீடியோ மட்டும் நீ ஆன்ல வச்சுக்கோ.
ஓகே.
நீ ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணும்போது.
ம்
நீ எங்க ஆபீஸ்ல இருக்கியா வீட்ல இருக்கியா?
நான் ஆஃபீஸில் தான் இருக்கேன். மீட்டிங் ரூமில் இருக்கேன். அது ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. தெரியுதா?
இங்க. ஓகேப்பா, தெரியுதுப்பா.
ம்
ஓகே.
ம் நீங்கள் எங்கே சார் இருக்கீங்க? வீட்டுக்கு வந்துட்டீங்களா? இன்னைக்கு
வீட்ல
காலேஜ்
தானே
உண்டா?
இருக்கேன். இது நானே என்னோட வீடியோ.
ஜாய் சார்.
ரொம்ப நாள் கழிச்சு உன்னை பாக்குறோம்.
இப்பதான் சார் பார்த்தீங்க, ஒரு மாதம் தான் சார் இருக்கும்.
ஏதோ இதுக்கு வந்திருந்தல்ல.
இப்போ மார்க் இன்டர்வியூ எடுக்க வந்திருந்தோம்.
ம். இந்த வாக்கின், வாட் இஸ் தட்?
மார்க் இன்டர்வியூ, மார்க் இன்டர்வியூ. இப்போ இவங்களெல்லாம் லைக் பாயிண்ட் அவுட் பண்ணி கொஷின்லாம் கேட்கலாம்ல சார்? அந்த மாதிரி நார்மலாக இது பண்ணலாம்ல? இல்லை அவங்க பாட்டுக்கு ஜஸ்ட் லிசனிங்கில் மட்டும்தான் இருப்பாங்களா? இன்ட்ராக்டிவாக இது பண்ணுற மாதிரி கொண்டு போகலாம்ல?
வாய்ஸ் அதான் ஏன் அப்படி கேக்குது? ஒருவேளை எனக்கு டிஸ்டர்பன்ஸ் ஏதாவது இருக்கா?
உங்கள்
அதான்
வாய்ஸ்
எல்லாத்தையும்.
எனக்கு உங்கள் வாய்ஸ் எனக்கு தெளிவாக கேட்குது. இருங்களேன், நான் வந்து இது ஏதோ நாய்ஸ் இது பண்ணுதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஒரு செகண்ட் இருங்க.
ஓகே.
மைக் மோட் ஸ்டாண்டர்டில் தான் இருக்குது. ஓகே. ஸ்டாண்டர்டில் தான் இருக்குது. பர்சனலைஸ்ட் ஆடியோ. இப்போ எப்படி சார் கேட்குது? ஹலோ.
எங்கேயோ ஒரு இடத்துல தான் ரொம்ப லோவா இருக்கிற மாதிரி தான் இருக்கு. ஒருவேளை க்ளோஸ்டு ஸ்பேஸ்ல இருக்கனால அப்படி இருக்கா என்னன்னு தெரியல.
ஓகே. இது மைக்ரோஃபோன் வந்து நல்லா தான் இருக்கும் மேக்ன்றனால.
மைக்ரோஃபோன்.
மைக்ரோஃபோன் லைக் நல்லாவே இருக்கும் மேக் மைக்ரோஃபோன் ஆக்சுவலாக.
ம்.
இது இப்போ இங்கே ஆஃபீஸ்லலாம் மீட்டிங் ரூமில் இதெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணி பேசுகிறோம். ஸோ அதனால க்ளோஸ் ரூம்ன்றனால டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் இருக்காது.
மைக்ரோஃபோன்ல சவுண்ட் கொஞ்சம் ஏத்தி பாரு.
அது அது இது பண்ண முடியாது சார். அது டிஃபால்ட்டாக உள்ளது தான்.
டிஃபால்ட்டா உள்ள சவுண்ட் தானா?
ம் நான் மேக்கோட இதுதான் செட் பண்ணியிருக்கேன்.
जी मैम, गुड इवनिंग मैम.
Good evening, sir. Sir, we will start by 6 p.m., sir. We need not wait for the students. The students will be joining gradually.
Yeah, sure ma'am. Okay
We
ma'am.
will, yes, sir. Thank you.
Karthik, you joined, right?
Yeah, hi sir. Hi
Yeah.
everyone.
Okay, we'll start.
Yeah.
So good evening everyone. A warm welcome to all participants joining us today. I'm delighted to extend my heartfelt greetings on behalf of Department of Computer Science and Engineering, RMK College of Engineering and Technology. At the outset, I express sincere gratitude to the management for their constant encouragement and support in organizing such enriching sessions. We also thank our principal sir and Dean of Research and Dean Academics for their inspiring leadership, and our head of the department, Dr. Rajaguru, for his valuable coordination and guidance. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's special interaction session. The topic name is Gear Up, with one of our your alumni, Mr. Karthik M. Mr. Karthik completed his bachelor's degree in computer science and engineering from RMK College of Engineering and Technology with an outstanding GPA of 9.32 and secured the 5th department rank. He is currently working as a software engineer at Ford Motor Company, Chennai, where he specializes in Spring Boot, Spring Batch, Google Cloud Platform, and enterprise scale database or optimization. He began his professional journey as an intern at Ford in Jan 2024, and through his dedication and technical excellence was converted to a full-time software engineer role in July 2024. So he worked as an intern at Vertex Consultancy Chennai, contributing to RESTful and GraphQL API development for the Tamil Nadu e-governance agency Hall Booking Portal. Mr. Karthik possesses expertise in technologies such as Spring Boot, MERN-Stack, React.js, SQL, and NoSQL database, and Google Cloud Platform and CA/CD practices. Adding to his achievements, he is also a co-inventor of 2 patent applications filed during his first year of engineering, reflecting his innovative mindset and passion for research. Today's session will certainly inspire the students by providing valuable insights into industry expectations, software engineering practices, career growth, and emerging technologies. Now, It is my privilege and honor to warmly welcome our distinguished speaker, Mr. Karthik M, Software Engineer, Ford Motor Company, Chennai. Please join, Karthik. It's
Yeah,
your
thank you so much for that warm welcome, sir. Yeah, hi everyone. Once again, like I'm Karthik, and sir have already given a brief introduction about me, and I already see some of my staffs, Vijay ma'am and Jimmy ma'am have joined. Good afternoon to all of them. So maybe the next 1.5 hours will be the session, and like I will try to keep it very engaging, and I need your support also because I have been there in the place of attending these meetings in the late evenings after the college. So whoever joined to attend this to know how the placements will be, or to know what the process and how to leverage the past process to get placed in very big company. So once again. So maybe we will start with a quick question and some things to be clarified from you so that I can give my advice and thoughts in that way. So it will be very useful for you. So basically, can someone unmute and say what other programming languages have been taught to you from the first year of since? Does anyone can unmute and say anybody?
it's your time, students, so you can interact
Come on,
your
no
speaker.
one is going to judge you here, or it's just going to be an interaction way. So I think some would have got a chance to meet me during the mock interview time. Yeah, so feel free to unmute and just help me with this some kind of question so I can deliver you the content.
Sri
Yeah.
Vishwa, you can
Sir,
ask. Vishwa, you can ask.
Java, C, C++, JavaScript, sir.
C, C++, JavaScript, and
Java, mainly.
Java. Okay, so nice. Okay, so the main Java, C, C++, and JavaScript. Any other frameworks kind of react in that way you already had in the syllabus kind of? No.
web
Yeah,
web
React
development.
and Spring Boot, sir.
Okay, okay, cool. Yeah. So basically, like you guys already have some enterprise level. One of the things is Java. It is widely used enterprise level. So I was in a mindset when I was in college, Java is a very very old language, and who uses Java? But trust me, Java is doing billions of networking works and like billions of works in the enterprise level technology. And maybe with that, I will start my presentation. So where is the share button? How many hostel students are here? Can anyone can you raise up your hands? Like I just need to see the count. Is there an option here to raise up the hands? Or like just you can react? Okay, okay. Yeah, why? Just because just to know I was being in a hosteler, and I know 7:30 will be the mess time. So I will plan to finish it accordingly so you'll not miss your dinner. And yeah, I hope my screen is visible, my PowerPoint. Can anyone confirm?
Yes, Karthi, you can make it as a slideshow.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, sir. So continue to share. Okay. So if any of the questions being coming the chat, please let me know. Like you can stop and ask me the question why, because if I'm in the full sharing, I can't see the chat box. So any of the staffs or students, you can just stop me and you can let me know to see the questions. So yeah. So the topic here we are going to see is cracking the code from campus to corporate. So why I have kept it as a cracking the code in the sense of like the everyone, there are thousands of students who are involved in this journey of getting into the campus and getting placed. So in that, only the few of them who knows the system, what to do, when to do, how to do it, will be the one who will be getting the thing at last. So that's the why I have kept this as a cracking the code. And like I will be sharing what are the things I have done during my campus time, during my placement time. And along with that, I will share few of the things which the general flow of the interview processes which is been there and which need to be uh, which is being followed in the industry widely. And I will be sharing some of the, maybe I will go to the agenda so you will know about it. Yeah. So again, like I'll be sharing with my story, then we will be knowing the usual preparation stuff, whatever been followed. Then the other stuffs, what than there other than the preparation, the presentation skills of your interview, then how now the technical interviews are there. So yeah, before going to that, like can you know can you guys confirm whether you guys are from third year, which semester?
Completed third year, sir. Going to the fourth year.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you. Whoever it is, I can't see your name. Yeah. Thank you so much. So, yeah. So then you guys are, I think some of you had an opportunity to attend the placements and get placed, or some would have started attending the companies and would have got, unfortunately, withdrawn from some of the applications or the rounds. Don't worry. There is plenty of way to go, and like we will see and like how we can take away from this and get it done. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, let me start my Kuti story in this way. So I am from a biology background. I will start it in this way itself. So I am from a biology background. I studied 12th in biology bio group. So but my engineering was the passion of mine. So when I started the engineering, so everything, the computer stuff, programming, everything was new to me. So at the time of first year, usually like, and I am from COVID batch. So the 2020 is the where we started the college, and we had lucky teachers who were being supporting even in the online times. And like the coding was the main thing which I had focused at the time. You can ask why there were subjects also to be focused, correct? But subjects can be revised and studied in any day, but coding, when you're practicing daily and you are being followed on the pattern of what the coding is done, only you will be able to know how to code and like when to code for the particular problem which you're going to do. Basically that process is known as intuition. So when you're trying to build the intuition of the program by your own, by practicing only, you will be able to crack that code. So during my first year, like I started with the coding. I had Python in my sem. So I started the Python slowly, like how it works, how it goes. Basically, that skill track platform was very useful platform. I am not sure if it is being followed now in our campus, or there might be some other platforms. Obviously, that will be there. So try to use that platform. The platforms where the codings are there is the key role for getting you placed. That I can say very for sure. So at the time, like I had the skill track, so we used to I had a friends group where we will be fighting and like we will be coding. There will be a thing called daily challenge, daily test. So I remember the times where the daily test will start at 10 p.m. So in our hostel we will be sitting from 9:50, like when the test will start, when it will be there only for the 20 minutes of time. So from 10 to 10:20 we would be trying to complete the program. So till I think more than 6 months, like I just will attend that daily test, but I will not be able to solve the program. And one time when I solved the program, I was very happy that that dopamine level of hit was amazing. So that level of starting only I had. So I started myself slowly on the coding. Then I came to like, then that drift came as like what was the struggle is coding and the theory syllabus. So these two are the major things which you need to pull in the both ends. So that's where the struggle part comes. Coding and theory syllabus. So coding wherever, whenever you can time have, you can do. Theory also have a big place because that's where it depends. That's where it builds your what to say, the basic building of your career. So let's say of oops, your cn, your data structures and algorithms, that's where the theory of parts which builds your basic systems. So both, it was difficult for me to pull both in. So like how I strategized that is in the college I started to during the college time, which is in our case it will be 8:30 to 3. I used to be like complete the theory part or like whatever there to be with help of my friends and with of the teachers. Like used to get it done. Come to the hostel, study it in a way that I can attend the I understood it clearly, watch YouTube and get it done. And night I used to sit from after dinner 10 to 1 sometimes in that way to focus on the coding. Why? Because like obviously like we would be having exams continuously. I can understand that. So when I came for the mock interview also, many students have said to me that it is very difficult for me to see exams and coding at the same time. Yeah, that is understandable. So I do face that many times, but you need to take an extra step on that to put your time on the coding. That is the best thing you can do for your starting of the career or the starting of your interview preparation. Whatever it is, like whatever you do, just try to squeeze in a hour or a 2 hour in a day to practice a coding, because that's where the key thing which lies in your thing. And like we will see further in the slides like how you should code, or like how I started the coding, the stuff. As I said, like I came from the biology with stuff. And the turning point is where is like I started to code, and I got selected into the RHP program. The RHP, like you guys would have known that RHP program. And we went to RMK, and we got an opportunity to get personalized training on the company specific questions and the C++ in that languages. Just a minute. Yeah. So there, like when we started to code on the company specific problems, and in that way, that's where the turning point started to come. Like this is how the companies are expecting a program to be approached, and how the student should be able to solve it. So that's where the process have started. And I have started to attend one-to-one interviews. And yeah, as you I didn't just directly got the Ford offer, and how to say, like just in the first try of my campus placement, I didn't I got placed and I came. It was not in that way. Obviously, I think my Ford is my 10th or 12th company which I got placed, to be same. Sorry. So there were many companies I too attended. And in the first second round itself, I have got dismissed in that base. So in that way also it will be there. So at last, I attended Accenture, and that was the first company which I attended, and I got selected. Then I got the Ford next, and and yeah, now here I am. I will be saying the process of what Accenture and the other companies also been followed when I was attending the interview. And I have gathered some details of how that interview process is now going on also. We will go through on that. Okay. Yeah. So the usual stuff, this aptitude and reasoning. So this one, what it is the very initial step of your interview process. Based on first, the companies will be selecting you based on your they will be filtering you based on the grades or the marks. That will be the first part. But the initial part of where you would be testing as a graduate or as a college guy is this aptitude and reasoning. So, will be thorough in this. Like I have mentioned some of the resources, which is Prep Insta, Arvis Agarwal book, India Books. Try to just a maximum of a 30 minutes of a day in your aptitude and reasoning. Why I would say 30 minutes would be enough is try to how I saw the aptitude and coding is they were both directly proportional. Okay, how I would say. So if you are able to solve a coding problem, then you would be able to solve an aptitude problem also. Why? Because the general programming which you do in the initial day, like you'll be reversing a number, that kind of like reversing a string, in that way kind of programs, you'd be obviously bringing in your logical thinking into it. So in that stuff itself, your aptitude and reasoning also will get to start strong in it. So at that time, so when you're doing this kind of like just learning the aptitude and the reasoning, it's a way of like there are specific chapters, not to like read as a whole theory kind of stuff. There are, you can particular and study particular chapters like profit and loss, finding the percentage. So in that way, that kind of specific, and like you can see the company specific aptitude questions. So if you are preparing that alone means itself, it is enough in this part-time saying. No need to like personally, I didn't spend much of the time in this, but I used to be attentive at that smart training classes. Why? Because at that time, like they will be giving the formula, and like they would be making you to solve the problems, right? So like at the time, if you're very aware and like you're solving that and you're okay in that means, you can be able to crack the aptitude level, aptitude programming or aptitude reasoning rounds in the company of any company, because it not be that much difficult in any company. This first, if you know that formula and if you're know to apply it in various forms means, then you'd be good. Yeah, I see hand raised. Any question? Anyone? Any questions? Is anyone having any questions? Or like it's good to continue. Okay, the silence I take it as an acceptance, and then like I will proceed. So wherever. So yeah. So the basic thing like where they would be seeing is the quants, obviously the quantitative, logical reasoning and verbal. So how in an interview, in a placement level, if you are saying means your first round will be having like how that arrangement will be there, I'm saying. So the first round will be of your quantitative logical reasoning, and some companies they will sum that along with the coding. They would keep 2 to 3 basic codings also along with that. You can see the pseudo code rounds in that way, or like some ways of coding, like a fill in the blanks. In that way of coding rounds will be there along with an aptitude also. Basically, if you are able to, it will be a simple one only, not in that way. Then what would be they would be doing means they would be keeping the verbal. After coding only they keep the verbal one. Why? Like in that way is verbal communication, and like how your grammar is there is another big thing which they see in the corporate. Okay, so you like the basic things like email writing, how you are behaving in your pronunciations, or how you are like sorry, how you are speaking, like where your pronunciations are there, what tone you are using when you are speaking. So that level of there, so there will be test in the way like they will be asking you to read a sentence. They will be asking you to summarize a particular paragraph under 150 words. That's all the basic things which will be helpful for you when you are coming into a corporate, and like you are taking a moments of a meeting and you are drafting it, or like when you are starting to write an email for your manager about a meeting. So in that ways, like you can start to feel like, okay, this is the where I'm getting applied it. So that's the thing. So that's all about the aptitude and reasoning part. So I will keep this part of in your placement preparation should be the least one, as I said earlier. Like if you are focusing more on this means, obviously you will start to lose more, because this one like it's just with the formulas. We are only going to play with the formulas, and if you're good with the formulas, and if you're good with some of the problems repeatedly means, then you would be very well enough to crack this round. Okay, so that's the thing about the aptitude round. Any doubts, or like whoever attended aptitude round, anything need to be clarified? Anyone? Dead silence. I can remember my college days, how it would be there in the other side, and like being silent. Yeah. Okay. Okay, moving on. So next step is the very big thing, the DSA and the coding preparations, how you do. So here I have mentioned the topics, but before that, the thing on the coding is how you approach the problem. That is the first ever thing a programmer should do. I'm coming to the term called a programmer. So when you are being a programmer, you should be before starting to touch the keyboard, before starting to touch the keyboard, you should be knowing what the procedure, or like we say it as an intuition. That is the term which will be used. Intuition is the term which is used to say that this is the algorithm, or this is the steps you are going to follow to achieve this program's output. Okay, so before starting a program, you should start practicing as how you are going to approach this program and get it done. Not you're not you're like, maybe try following this if you're struggling in the programming still. Don't touch the keyboard. Logically take a pen and paper, how you are going to achieve this output. Okay, if you can't able to write it in the can't able to do it at the notepad, obviously you will not be able to do it in your keyboard also. That is the fact. Okay, simple. Let's take a simple program. You want to reverse a number. How you will reverse a number? You should be able to think like, okay, reversing a number. I need to take the last digit and I need to have it as the first. How I'm going to have it as a first? Okay, then I have to have another variable so that I will have that as a first. I will put it there. Okay, now the next digit have to come behind that. How I will do that? Okay, next digit have to multiply with the 10 so that then I will add this again. Like this logic should be having in your paper. You are like first iteration, what would be happening, second iteration, it might take time. It may take time, not it will take time obviously, but I would suggest this as a very good approach for solving a program, or you are struggling in the program to like some people will say like hey, I am not able to, like, I'm seeing a question but I'm not getting a thought of like what it could be done, or like where I should start with this. Okay, take a blank paper, sit, think what you are like feeling like. Okay, what is this program? Okay, this is where they, even if it is wrong, even if it is taking 2 hours or 3 hours for a simple program, try to do and see this. You might be struggling this for some 10 to 20 programs in the initial time, but obviously you can see a better results of yourself getting improved with the solving the programs in much faster way with the better approach in going forward. So that one key advice I would say to all the fellows who were there. And so it's a pretty stuff like whatever the topics we were there, like as you guys were saying, you had C++, Java, JavaScript, and there are many languages. Like some people will be preference of going with the Python. Why? Because it has a simple syntax. It is agreed. But what I would say is, if you are going with the Python or any kind of procedural language, you should know the implementation, or you should know the logic what it does without just using that inbuilt function blindly. I had this experience when I was taking a mock interview recently in our college. Like there was a candidate who was just like I just set them to sort. They were just using arrays dot sort using the Java, but they were not able to do it without using that inbuilt function. So obviously, like using a function is a good. I would say it reduces your lines of code, but you should be knowing the algorithm of what it does. At least there are multiple sorting algorithms, right? Kind of bubble sort, insertion sort, selection sort, any kind of sort you should know what it does. Without knowing what it does, don't try to apply it in your initial days of coding. When you're coming to corporate, you can do whatever you want. That is never no one would have will ask you, and like most of your codes AI will write, or like you can guide the AI to write it. That is after coming to the corporate. But Once you are starting to, or like starting your code and you're going to use an inbuilt functions, don't try to just use that inbuilt function blindly. Try to know the implementation of, you like obviously you have internet source and you have the AIs, right? If you ask what's behind that sort means, it will obviously help you, it'll obviously explain you. Try to understand that, then use it. Because in an interview also, just they can say like don't use it in that way means, then at that time you will get struggle. So you need to know that implementation, like than implementation, you should know the algorithm what it is using, right? So that is there. So like, so that only like majorly like what I would suggest the students to do is start with either C or C++. I would say C is the first thing which you would have started as a programmer. Why? Because C has some inbuilt languages, inbuilt functions, but mostly you cannot see that like that those are not famous functions. Those functions you cannot find easily to utilize it. You need to search hard, but there are functions. But at initial stage, working on C++ would be highly beneficial as they have less built-in functions to achieve the code whatever you're doing. Then having Java is a very powerful language, but when it comes to Java, you will be not only tested based on the coding, you will be tested based on the architecture of the Java. Okay, as I said, like Java is an industrial level and enterprise level used high technical language. They will be very keen to know how you are strong in the architecture of the Java, like what is JRE, what is JVM, in that way. Like why? Because that when it comes to Java is not just a language you just code and get an output. You are going to interact with operating level system kind of works. So then you should be able to know it, and that is the basic understanding of whoever learning the Java is. So as you said, like I think like some of you have said like you guys had a in first year itself, I think first year itself you guys had Java, right? If I'm not wrong, anyone can confirm.
In first year one test.
Yeah. So having Java in the first year, obviously it would be a very big language to learn, but you should be very keen to know what the architecture level of things there in the Java. As I said, like a few things like what is JVM, what is JRE, what is JDK. You, if you're knowing, if like if you can't able to explain the difference between like, now you can yourself ask the question like to yourself whether you know the difference of JDK, JRE, JVM. If you are struggling still there in that place means you should consider yourself of like thinking of where you are going to start again on the Java, or like consider thinking on like starting the Java from scratch to learn in case if you have mentioned Java in your resume. Okay, and there are things like Java garbage collector, synchronization, threads mainly. So those are comes at the other end of the Java, but starting of the Java would be the these things. So that is the things on the Java to be said. So let's. I hope I gave some clarity before going to the D. Why like I did go to the DSA in coding purpose. These are the things which is to be done before the coding. Okay, coding you can achieve, as I said, like coding and the logical thinking part are interdependent. If you know the syntax and you have the logical thinking, you can do whatever you want in the coding. But you are choosing a language and you are going to start with it. That's where the first step of your programming life starts. So, any doubts in this, or like anything to be clarified in this, like, hey, I am like struggling in this way, like, can you say in this anything in that way, any advice or anything? Don't feel like, don't shy to ask everyone or here or want to get placed. We should be in that mindset first. The mindset is the one, we everyone came here get to place, and everyone should get placed. So that is the ideal mindset should be of everyone. Okay, any of the members want to get clarified on the things before going into the DSA or the other stuffs? Come on, there should be obviously questions, I know. during the mock interview time itself, like I observed so many members who were like saying this one. So yeah, don't feel shy. That's the only thing I will say. If you're feeling shy, obviously you will be behind the bars only always. Seriously, anyone? Okay, if you are feeling in that way, like you can put it in the chat also. Maybe I can read it afterwards. Okay, going forward. So, like as I said, like the first point, like as I mentioned, just like pick one language. Either it can be Java, C++, or Python, so and so. But the things which I said before, like you should be knowing whatever you're going to use in an algorithmic way of what it is going to achieve if you're going to use a built-in functions in that case. So pick a language in that way, start solving basic programs. Don't go with array strings, everything. These are all steps, but behind this, the ground floor of programming is start with the basic, very easy programs like which are the reverse the numbers, uh, find is it the string is palindrome or not, or like still like to be said like an either even or odd, whether to find the leap year or not in a given year is that kind of programs. Start to solve like there are like solve some hundreds or 200s of programs in that. Okay, we got a chat. Oh, Nilesh, okay. Is it okay to say to interview that I'm good enough in Java, but I will switch the language based on the type of the problem? Obviously, yeah, you can do that because, like, I will answer you this when I'm saying in the part of a technical interview one. That's a good question. You can say, why I'm saying is never ever assume an technical interview as the person who is in front of you is going to ask a question and you're just going to answer. It will be not in that way. Always think it in as a just you are having a conversation with them, saying he is having some thoughts, you are having some thoughts, you are going to exchange your thoughts in that way. Okay, wow. I will come to that part, and it's a very good question, Nitesh. I will cover this in the and the short answer is yes, you can say there is no problem with that. Even if you have started with Java and you're feeling like okay in halfway, like if I go with the Python means it would be good means you can say the disadvantage of what to like you can say in that way like hey, like I started with the Java like but I feel like if like this is the disadvantage if we are going with the Java, I like to switch to the Python. And if you are switching to the Python, I will be proceeding in this way like that. If you're giving a hint in this way means he would be obviously impressed to say, yeah, go ahead with that. I will cover that part in the interview, but it's a good question. Thank you, Nilesh, for that question. One more. If I need to run the program with less execution time, I will choose C++. And if the problem is choose C. Okay, yeah. So choose C++ if the model is based on the characteristic. Okay, yeah, it's a good way like to character string you can choose. Then I will see if
Sorry to interrupt, Karthik.
yeah, yeah, ma'am.
Students, instead of posting your questions in chat box, it would be ideal if you just unmute and speak out. So by that way, you can try to overcome your fear also. That is the reason we are insisting you to just unmute yourself and speak, ma. Okay, Karthik, you can proceed.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So, Nilesh, like, first thing, like, it's good, like, you are proceeding in the way, like, you are thinking what program to be chosen based on the question, correct? So, obviously, like, this is like you are saying to them, like, lex execution time, like, you are not going to, like, based on the timing, I'm saying, most of the technical interviews which are having in person, I'm saying, why? Because in person, obviously, like, they will not be asking you mostly to type the code, run and show. Okay, it is taking 2 seconds. Like in that way, they will not ask in a technical interview. They might say you to optimize it, but they will not see the timing of it. I will say the difference between that. Why they are saying you to optimize it, but not saying the timing. I will say to the time complexity. But when they are giving you a program itself, they will give you a ample amount of time for you to decide what will be your intuition in that, correct? So there in that part of intuition, first choosing the language would be the thing which would be going in your mind, and the second thing will be the algorithm what you're going to achieve, correct? If they say if they are giving strings or characters, you would be for okay, you are proceeding like I will take the C first. If I'm starting with the C, like this will be happening in your mind at the time. Obviously, the fear you might do something, but the ideal way will be that you'll be starting with, let's say, you said like if you will choose C++, if it is let's say serious time, we will avoid that. Let's say you are taking character string in the case of C++, okay. So in that way, if you are taking C and they are saying like string character in that way, and then you are choosing like, okay, let's move then like let's start with C. And like you are feeling when you're deriving your intuition, you are feeling like, okay, if I'm doing this within the C means obviously I need to do more work on the coding part. But if I'm doing with the C++ means I can do it with the less spark. So at the time of intuition only, you need to change that. Okay, wow. The last step of changing your programming is when you have decided in your intuition and you are going to start, and at the time you are feeling like, okay, I need to change it now, or else that breaking point will come, right? Okay, this is the part where it is not gonna work. I need to change the language immediately. At that point, you need to give your explanation that hey, this is the disadvantage or this is the drawback I'm feeling. Already, when I'm building the intuition, I felt like going with this would be the best approach, but it seems on paper it is not working out. So, like this is a disadvantage I'm feeling, and like if I'm going with the Python or like whatever X language it is, like we can be able to achieve this in this way. Just a glimpse about the program if you're giving means obviously he would be impressed. Did I answer your question? Hopefully.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Nilesh. So yeah, going forward, maybe like if any of the questions there also like please like I'm not able to see the chat. I'm just getting a notification like I got a message. So in that way, I will try to come back and I will answer that immediately. So moving forward, like you should pick a language and start practicing very beginner level of problems. Very beginner level of problems. Don't ever try to hesitate like what is this level of problems? Like I'll just directly go to the linked list trees and I will start. Don't do that. Try to train your brain in that very simple questions. Even hundreds or 200 questions you are going doing also, your speed of programming will increase. Okay, it will not decrease in any, like it will not affect you in any way that you are doing the simple programs for so many times. No, it is not. And obviously, it will improve your logical thinking even faster because you will get used to it. When you're starting that first 50 problems, like you might take 5 minutes, 10 minutes of like, then your next set of 50 questions, you might try to solve it within minutes. Okay, that level of improvements you can see in that very beginning itself, very beginning of solving that program itself. So that is one thing of it. So yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So that kind of problems, like there are platforms like Lead Code, Geeks for Geeks, Coding Ninja. These are some of the free platforms which are there, and it is good to use. And what are the platforms which is being now currently used in our college? Can anyone just help me with that? Anybody? I just want to know like what are the coding platforms? Code Chef. Code Chef. Okay, nice. Coach Chef, like it is being like a licensed one in a college. I think it's a free one, right? Like Coach Chef, technically. Okay, then any what like like I think skill track. I am new. Okay, I am new. Okay, I am new is kind of new. Skill track it's still there means try to utilize it as much as possible before you're getting placed. Okay, that is a very useful tool to get your coding skills honed in a very way. Okay. Okay. So, okay, I think you already know some of the platforms. So when it comes to lead code, I would say like when you are very comfort, I'm saying platform specific. Geeks for Geeks, I know like everyone would be utilizing it for your theory purposes for the exams and like some of the programs to see. Uh, but the lead code one is like when you are feeling like okay, something it is there in the programming that I'm missing, or like something I need to see what's there, that curiosity if you are feeling means try to jump in lead code. It is where the problems are getting better and the game is getting better. Okay, try to solve lead code problems and try to like once after you are very well in the skill track, try to parallelly start with the lead code. There are also easy programs there. How many of you have accounts in lead code and already? Like, can you raise up your hands? I would be very happy to know. Only three. Okay. Still that's four. Seven. Okay, it seems like in between you guys itself, there are so many people started to use lead code. Very happy to see that. So yeah, the fellow students, you can also, yeah, you can raise your hands. Yeah, thank you so much. So like you can utilize that platform also because that's where the game of coding really begins actually. So the questions, there will be mostly company specific questions, and there are tools to see how time complexity your code is taking, and like there are other metrics to analyze your code, how you are coding, and you will be like there will be context in that platform every bi-weekly Saturday and Sunday to in the way like there will be world level programmers they will be coding. If you are not, hi Nishant, where you are going? Okay. So where I missed, yeah. So there will be context, even if you're not able to attend the contest also, there will be after the contest they will be releasing the rank list and like how they will solve the questions. Just to try to go and see the way how they coded, or like what the new syntaxes they used to solve that problem, or like there will be obviously videos they will be putting after the contest is over, so you can go and you can start to see whoever using the link lead code, you can start to see what the context questions are there, and like how other programmers or the top ranked programmers are there, like started to like how they are approaching the problem, because like they would be the contest system will happen for 15 minutes or something only. Within the 15 they will be solving all the programs, and it will be easy hard in that way it will be there. So you can try to learn new algorithms or the new techniques what they are using, or like you can see like how their thinking is there to approach a problem. So that level of learning you can see by the others code. Okay, that is one of the thing. Then you are seeing YouTube videos or things. If you are seeing other members code and trying to think like what algorithm they are done, or like what they are trying to do in their code, you would be fascinated by like wow, this level of syntaxes are there. Like I saw many codes in that way, like during my skill track daily test, as I said, right? Like by 10:20 the program will like the countdown will over, right? So after I think now the daily test is like it is open for 24 hours, correct? If I'm not wrong. Can anyone confirm? Hello, am I audible? Hello?
Students, you can unmute and you can speak, but don't post the message in chat box.
Okay, I think it is like now it has been active for more than 24 hours, but before it will be there for only 10 to 10:20 based on the program complexity. So like what I would be doing is after the test is over, there will be a section to see the solutions of that program. like we would be seeing like how they coded, what is the different syntaxes they used, what algorithms they used, and like I learned personally many programs in that way, and improved my programming game. Okay. So like there are coming back to this, like there are some sheets like you guys would have heard like Striver sheet, Neat 150. These are the last step of your coding. Like when you feel like okay, this basic stuff I'm done now, like I'm okay with I know like I'm able to code now. Then you can start doing this Striver and Neat 150 because this sheets contains very quality content of codes or quality questions that can be solved. So you can attend a product based company that are more than 12 LP or like 15 LPA companies. Okay, that level of standardized like or the frequently asked questions will be there in the sheet. You can do check it out. And when coming to the algorithms, so I can see I have mentioned 7 steps in this. Okay. So there is a reason like these are the building blocks of that programming if you're going to the DP or graphs level. So if you're feeling like I'm like I think everyone wants to get placed in the better product based company with good salary, right? So in that case, if you're feeling like this range is like your salary range, okay. If you feel like you want only like a 4 LPA, 5 LPA job or like in that way means you can stop still this step 3 or step 4. Okay. Other than that, if you're feeling like okay, I don't want in that way, if you're feeling means you can stop it in that way. But I will not recommend doing that because even that 4 LP, 5 LP companies have started as graph level also because based on the competition now it is happening. Okay. So the arrays, like the same usual things which you're seeing, arrays, strings, hashing, linked list, trees, graph, DP. These all are the steps to be followed or the algorithms which are there where you can hone. These are each topic has its own algorithms. Let's say in arrays, if you're taking, there are known as sliding window algorithms, two pointers, that kind of there. If you're going to string, there are known as cadenas algorithm and some more algorithms, pattern matching algorithms there. Hashing, mappings there. Linked list means, reverse the linked list, standard questions they ask. So that kind of problems you can start to solve one by one once you feel like your programming game is very good. Yeah, like I'm opening the floor for questions again on the coding stuff. Anything to be clarified, or like any of the doubts you are having? Okay, I'm proceeding
Sir,
to the
what
next.
would the
Yeah.
consistency of like how we are
Hmm.
practicing? Like during our exams, we didn't practice any kind of code or something because we are focused on some theory work. So
Mm-mm.
again, I try to solve four. I try to solve. I have a target of solving 3 problems, but I can't able to do one problem within an hour. But before exams, I could able to do it. So to make it like again to be in a consistency, I should go again with skill track or something else to practice myself and build it and jump into the code, or else I can just able to go with the flow.
Okay, before that, like maybe like you can help me with how you yourself create in programming. Like you would be like I am in the range like out of 10, how you would rate yourself?
6 or 7.
6 or 7. Then I can believe like you know to solve some tree level of programs, or like the topic which you feel like you are comfortable. This is the topic up to which like I have shown some steps, right? In the steps where you feel like you're very comfortable in that.
Actually,
Hashing. Okay. So you're a hostel or day scholar?
day scholars.
Day scholar. Okay. So like first thing is like the time management which you need to do. Obviously, like you'd be starting in your home from 6 a.m. and you'd be coming to the college at 8. Again, like at 3 you'd be starting and you'd be reaching your home at 5, correct? So obviously you need to take some time to recover yourself. And like again, in case of examination times, I'm saying you'd be obviously having much of the time to be spent for your theory. I agree in that. So here where you should like it should be like in the way like during your non-examination times, your focus on the coding should be of more than your focusing on the theory parts. Okay, let's say 70, like take it for 100% of example, 70% of your time should be there for coding and 30% of the time should be there for the theory times. Why I'm saying is, why I'm keeping 30% here is, obviously in your campus time, out of in the 3 to 8 to 3, you should be able to cope up the theory in the classroom. Okay, wow. So if you are not able to do that only, you will get that gap of, okay, you are missing the theory to be spend more time in. Okay, that is where you will get missed it out during your campus time. That 8 hours which you're getting, right, that time you should get it done. Like you should get focus on clarifying your theory parts and like focusing like for that academic or the examination purposes. In your home you should start like for the coding part, and during the examination time obviously grades are important, so at that time you can switch the gears, like 70% or 80% showing it in the theory, and 20% of like three to four programs in the day, or like even one program in the day would be enough, I would say, because in your rest of the day you would be doing much of your programs, right? So you can compensate with that. Did I answer your question, or like
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a acceptable thing. And then
yeah.
I just want to know other thing, like if
Mm.
I want to focus more on coding part now in the holidays now, I also have to go to internship. But at the same time, I just want to focus on it now. Like, uh, how can I focus? Like based on the sheets I saw.
Internship in the sense, what level of internship? You are going for an internship or you are going for an implant training? Let me clarify you this too.
Internship
Im,
only, sir. In the fourth
Internship is some, sorry.
internship only, sir.
Okay, internship in the sense, like to be understandable, you are doing some minimal level of work for that company or work for them, and they are also giving time for you to learn things, and either it should be a free or a stipend one. That is known as an internship. Implant training is something you pay money and they will be just teaching things, and like you will be getting a certificate at last. That is known as an implant training. So that is the two things I need to clarify here. So I assume you are going for an internship. Correct, what you do at that internship?
So it was just a software engineering institute. It was at Ford. So we are not.
You're working in Ford as an intern?
Yes, sir. From June 1 to 27 June.
Oh, nice. Maybe we can meet sometime. Okay. When you have started it?
June 1, sir. From next
Okay.
month, next week.
You got placed in Ford and you are starting.
No, sir, not placed and all.
Hmm.
Just intern I got. Summer intern.
Okay, summer internship. Got it, got it, got it. So during your internship type, anyway, you are starting, right? Your internship, same. You should replace your office time with your college time. That's the difference, obviously, right?
Okay, sir.
Technically, if you are
Okay.
seeing means, still you will get a more time to code actually. You are than reading the theory. Now you will get more time to code. Obviously, in internship, you will get your way of work will be there, like you would be in your keyboard most of the times, you would be learning and you would be doing the coding, correct? As you are an intern, they will be saying like take a module, analysis it, see what it is there, and then you would be proceeding with your manager's permission like to do that, correct? There your programming will be taking a different turn, you are taking an enterprise level coding, okay, wow. So at that time you should be focusing obviously for the company, obviously that's the thing. So but now your next thing, obviously, like your remaining time should be there for the coding, and then you should focus on the theory, right? And
Oh,
I think fourth year, like I think there would be more no theory, correct? Technically
yes,
or
sir.
not?
Okay. Three
So
subjects.
like so obviously like you would be getting more time to see on the coding stuff, and like leveraging how you are going to improve on that.
Okay, sir. If I want to rebuild myself in this time now, I just want to start with arrays or else I just go with the level what I have.
That you should only feel like where you are lagging.
Okay, sir.
If
Thank
you
you.
are feeling, like take a topic, okay, just take a topic blindly, okay, arrays, take some 5 random or 10 random problems, see if you're able to solve it or not. If you're lacking on the problems, means you should fix, like, okay, your weak points. These are the weak points. Obviously you might be able to solve 7 programs in that out of 10. In the 3 you might feel like they might be using different algorithms to solve that. So you should, those are the pain points of yours. You should mark, like, you can note it down on, like, okay, they are using different algorithm, I can't solve it brute in a brute force way. So in that way of analysis should be done on yourself, to say that I have done this topic and I can, like, I'm good with this. That is the way of analysis you should do when you are feeling like I'm good in this topic.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Sashin, right? Okay.
Sashin.
Shashin, yeah, sorry, yeah. Okay, maybe I will go to the next slide, which is like, obviously, like, uh, your coding should be your left eye and your theory should be your right eye. There are staffs who are teaching theory also. So, like, I'm not saying one side of coding also. So the theory is also the main thing, because using the theory is the main thing you can apply the coding. That is also major things there. And this, other than coding, like, when you're coming in a way, like, how to say, okay, let's say, like, I think there are many specialization based students here, correct? Cyber security, cloud computing, if I'm not wrong. So you will not be evaluated only based on your coding, obviously, correct? So that where comes the theory, correct? So majorly theory, from first year you would be studying a lot of theories, but every theory you would be applying somewhere. But in the interview purpose view, the major theories which will be asked is this four: OOPS, DBMS, OS, CN. These are the major things which will be they be asking. And there will be one more thing called distributed systems, where they more usually ask it in the cloud computing platform interviews or cloud-based interviews. So OOPS, obviously, like when I said first, like, you had guys had Java. So if you are well versed in Java, means the OOPS concept would be the one you can strike it out, like you are good with, because if you're good with the Java, means it should be directly proportional as you are good with the OOPS. That is the thing. How they would be, like, in an interview they would be asking, means give me an example of where you'd be using the OOPS in a real world scenario. So in that way, the questions will be there, like they would be saying, like, take a dog and, like, have it as a parent. Give me, like, do a inheritance code, like how you'd be doing in that way. It will be like an example based programs, right? So that level of will be starting in that way. Just with the theory, they will start with go inside the deep of programming. Okay. DBMS. This DBMS is a thing where, like, you cannot ignore anywhere. Okay, like, even if you are going to become a computer engineer, even if you are going to become a architect in that way, or like you're feeling like you're going to become a data engineer or whatever. So wherever your data is getting stored is in the database, obviously, correct? So for that, you should be knowing the fundamentals of DBMS is very, very important. Okay, the basic things which they ask is, like, what are normalization. You should be knowing the difference of the joints which are there: left joint, right joint, outer joint, inner joint. All the joints difference you should be knowing. And indexing, acid properties, obviously the basic of the DBMS. So in that way, these are the basic topics that is present in the DBMS. If still you're going inside, there are things called rights. So that things also we been covering. Okay. Coming to the part OS, operating system. Operating system and OOPS decides how well you are strong in your fundamentals of your computer science. Okay, OOPS, OS, CN. Because operating system is where, if you're going to do a code, you should be able to know how the optimization to be done. Okay, so in that way, obviously, it should be a hardware level optimization or a software level optimization. We say it as horizontal scaling or vertical scaling. If you know in cloud computing or, like, whatever optimizations there, these are the two terms they use. So In that case, if you're going to do a horizontal scaling or a vertical scaling, you should be able to know where you're going to do that optimization. Either you're going to do that optimization in the code level, or you're going to do the optimization in the uh, hardware level. So there where the operating system comes, like this operating system, how it supports, like how it blends, like it improves the hardware usability, or like if you are improving on the OS level, we would be getting the performance better. So that level of things will come. So basic things like threads, synchronization, and the processes, those kind of pagination, some kind of those are the basic stuffs present in an operating system. And the CN, CN is like whatever specialization you go, that's it will be present in all the things. Okay, so the basic stuffs in the CS, like the networking protocols and HTTPS, HTTP, FTP, MTP, those kind of whatever protocols present, that protocols, they will, like any company will not you ask you to implement the protocol or what present in the protocol. They will see how you are able to explain that protocol, whether whatever you are saying that is being observed, or like they can be able to understand that okay, what she is saying is, she's like what he or she is saying is not blabbering. They are saying they have understood it correctly and they are delivering it. So obviously they have some better understanding or better basics in that thing. So that by that they can catch, okay, by the in this one they are strongly there. So so in that way you should be able to know the basics. That is one of the tips. Okay, and this is a classic question, like I ask in most of the interviews, like if I'm entering google.com, what happens in the backend, like where it goes. So what happens if I'm entering the google.com address, what it happens. So I how I expect, like maybe I will give an example, like explanation for that. If I'm entering a google.com, what happens, it will go to the DNS lookup. Then you should know what is a DNS lookup, domain namespace lookup. So there will be an IP addresses matched to each string, each URLs. So let's say google.com is there. For the google.com, there will be an IP address associated with it. Let's say 8.0.00. Okay. So that IP address, what is my IP address there? There are two, like, different types of IP address, V1, V6, V4 and V6. You should know the difference of what it is there. Okay. Then, like, okay, what is this, using this IP address, what you will do? You would be locating the server which is hosting that google.com. Okay, how you would be, like you would be going to the server, then how that server will interact to your request. Your server will take your request, process it, and then it will give the response. So you can see, like, now I went to some different level of stages, correct? In this different level of stages, there are many possibility, like I can stop you and I can ask question what it is. Okay, so you should, if you are knowing this flow end to end, and like you are able to, not in a practical way, you should know it in a theoretical way at least. You should be knowing it theoretical way, and like you should know, like, okay, if I'm getting stopped there and getting asked the question, what I should do. If they are asking, okay, you said IP address, what is the difference between V4 and V6 means, you should be able to answer it. Okay, this IP address is being to a server. How the server will handle the load? It will have a load balancer. So what is mean by load balancer? It handles the load differently and it distributes the loads into the different servers. So that you will be learning the distributed system. So where the server communicates? The server communicates to the database. So what kind of data of database there? SQL there, relationship database there, non-relational database there. So there are multiple things of questions to be asked even in the single question itself. Right, how in if you guys are like not yet attended an interview, I'm saying what you are going to say or what question you are getting answer right, from there only they will start the chain of questions. Okay, you should be very aware of whatever you're going to say answer right, there will be the chain of answers, questions will be asked. Okay, this is a simple example of the question which to be carried, and like you should be knowing what it to be followed to be answered for that. Okay, any doubts in this, like anything, like how important your core subject, or like any of the questions? or like you feel like any of the topics still like I am missing out to be mentioned here, feel free to correct me. Did I mention like did I'm not mentioning any of the topics? Like it would be helpful for your friends to know that these topics also matters in an interview. Okay, maybe you
Sir,
can. Yeah.
sir, what about the console programming, like high level design or low level design, sir?
Okay, high level design and low level design. In that ones are there, right? So it will be there. There are companies who don't ask this as like it will be there mostly for a 1 year or 2 year experienced persons they will ask. For a fresher, there will not be a high DD like high level design. There will be a low level design programs. Obviously, it will be the high level design programs involves so many things like maybe to give you an example, like high level system is simple, like they will ask how this Zoom call works, how like the video is getting streamed without delay, how you are able to see it, what architectural design you are going to you are going to decide like to build this from end to end from the web to like you are going to choose React for the web, like what your technology you are going to use for the streaming of the video, how you are going to authenticate the user. That level of algorithmic decision should be there in a high DD. Okay, that will be there mostly for a experienced person. But the low level designs there, right? The low level designs are like, like you might be doing that but you not be knowing that. Why means simple, if I'm asking you to in an interview like design an ATM machine, okay, there should be an option showing like four options: withdraw like a deposit in the day, right? So you'd be designing a Java code, right? Different classes: ATM class, bank class. There should be a savings account class, current account class. That like you would be differentiating the class, right? That is only known as low level design. Okay, wow. Without knowing, you are doing that actually in an interview or like whatever coding interviews they are asking. That is the fresher level of low level designs that can ask. They can ask this car management system, airport like bus trafficking, like just like with an input of like 2 to 3 classes you can able to explain and you can do it, right? That level of programs on this low level of designs.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, maybe in that I can add on like what some like there is a company called Mr. Cooper, if you have heard of. They would be saying you to do this low level of design with the help of ERP diagrams. Okay, and if I'm not like ERP diagrams, correct? ERP diagrams. There is a chapter called Object Oriented Analysis and Design, OOAD. There you will be like, if you guys had, maybe you guys would have known it. If you not had, you can check that. It's Object Oriented Analysis and Design. There's a subject known like that. There you will see the what is the before thing an architect or an engineer will do before coding or before even thinking what he should be done. Okay, there will be thing called sequence diagrams, there will be thing called ERP diagrams, there will be thing called UML diagrams. So each will be used in a different way such that you will be using to say this is the architectural decision or this is the flow the coding is going to take place. There in that level you would be constraining your architecture and it will be getting into different level of approvals. Hey, I'm going to use this level of sequence, like the user will get authenticated, then they will be going to this flow. So that level of sequence diagram, UML diagram, ERP diagrams will be there. Usually this low level system designs are there, right? There they will be using these rounds, like they will be giving a scenario like design a carpooling system. So and like they will be saying like just to do the ERP diagram for it. So there you need to have the classes represented in the such a way, and you should know the connections, like from which class the object is going to get transferred and it is going to get manipulated in the way of things to be known. So there where the diagrams will be there, and like these are the technical terms which will be used. Maybe I can repeat that. The subject name is known as Object Oriented and Analysis and Design, OOAD they will say. And there will be diagrams called ERP diagrams, UML diagrams, sequence diagrams, and there are many more diagrams which is being used. Generally, these are flow diagrams in another ways. Okay, yeah. So moving on, projects and certifications. These are like the stars which will be present in the IPL jerseys. Okay, so you can say it like already you are a good team, but we are specialized. So that is the thing. This project certifications make you to stand out in the crowd. Okay, already like you guys are been in the different specialization fields, so you guys would have try to know like what kind of specialization certifications you are going to do that can make you stand out. Basically, if you're going to code, you will obviously know the logical thinking of it. But when it comes to industrial things or like where it is getting applied, the certifications will at least will give you a glimpse of like, because obviously there will be labs to do it correct. So based on that labs, you will get a even 2 to 5% of knowledge, like okay, this is how whatever I'm learning, this get applied in an industrial level or an enterprise level. So that kind of understanding you will get, and obviously the company also will know that you have taken initial step to get the certifications done. Okay, so as like there are people said like and the projects obviously like in your resume you'll have like a resume. I will come in the next slide. So projects are like the things which you are applying and seeing like whatever you have learned. Okay, so you have learned already Java in the sense you can do a Spring Boot project and you can see how the backend really works, how the requests are being got, what is mean by controller, what is mean by service layer, what is mean by data layer. In that way, if you're doing a project and you are mentioning it in the resume, means it will be a quite impressive thing, obviously. Just like than just mentioning your education skills, even internship, even your adding in projects also, it will be there. It will be a key point in your resume. Okay, there is obviously like you can try to copy whatever they are doing in your YouTube also. That is not wrong. I have did so many things in that way, and there are projects in my resume in that way also. There are cloning the whole WhatsApp using React, like the MERN stack, just an e-commerce application using React. So, or like creating a backend for the e-commerce application using Spring Boot or Express.js. Just try to clone it. Nothing wrong. You will try to know what level of terms it is getting involved, what does mean by how they are connecting the DB, how the API is being called by a postman, how like why they are exposing that server in localhost 8080. In that way you will try to know these are the basic things present in an inner flow or in a backend or in a front end. You will have to know in that way. Clone and try, just try to copy whatever present they are doing in the clone. Have a screen in, have a play YouTube in a parallel screen and try doing your like just to try to copy it in your different screen. It's not wrong and it will be very helpful, and you will be able to know something that okay, these are the things they are trying to do. Even if you're not understanding also, be consistent and try to complete that video. That's one thing I will say. Some people what they will do means they will start the video, they will see like okay, let me try to clone and see this, but in 15 to 20 minutes of the video they will feel like I'm not getting anything, why should proceed, let me off and let me go. But try to be in there and like try to complete that video still. Okay, even if it is not wrong to clone it again, like start the video again, now do and see it in that way. Even if you're wasting 2 hours or 4 hours in that, it will be worth wasting because you are not wasting it in any other way. You are using it that time to technically develop yourself. In some time you will, in the first time you will not get some terms. In the second time when you are completing in the first time when you're completing the full video, and when you're starting the second time, you may try to understand the wordings like okay, this was the thing he was coming to say in that thing. So that level of understanding you will get. So you can mention that in your resume as well. And yeah, these are the certifications you can do if you are aiming like I have mentioned here specifically like in a cloud way. You can do some certification on your fields like there is a Cisco certification for the network engineer level, and yeah, there are Azure, Google Cloud, and AWS partition certificates for the cloud engineers. So in that way, you can do some certifications and mention it in the resume. It is worth mentioning actually. Do so in that way. Okay. Resume building. Okay. This one, like, if you want to take means it's a whole big topic. Okay. But I would not say to focus more on that because what is there in your resume is should be the you. That is the simple statement. There should not be very less, there should not be very more. Okay. What you are there, you should be true to your resume first. Okay. So why? Because when I had the chance of taking the mock interview, I felt like even the people what mentioned in their resume itself, they were like not able to. I said I'm not pinpointing everyone in that case, like just few whoever like got a chance like to interview. I felt in that way. I advised them the same, whatever you kept in your resume only, like they would be starting to ask the interview. You what they will see your resume. This is what they know about you. Okay. They will see your resume and only they will start like, okay, you know Java. Okay, let's start with the Java first. But if you just mention it for the namesake, obviously you will be the person who will be in the trouble in that. Okay. So you should be true. This is the statement I use. The statement is you should be true to your resume. That is the statement. Okay. And for a fresher's resume, it is typically the sessions are like your education should be mentioned. If you have any internship or a implant training as to be specified, you can mention. The next section should be your skills, whatever the skills you have, the projects, the projects, not the skills like a front and React, that kind of things to be mentioned. Then your certifications to be mentioned. Then at last projects, this itself, if you're having for the pages, it's worth enough. Okay. No need of mentioning the things like I'm a very strong independent candidate, I can work all day all night every day. In that way, no need to mention it in the resume, because there will be a technical round and there will be a general round that will be evaluated in the general round, whoever the general HR they are going to take. Technically your resume should say like what you're going to do. Okay, wow. That comes under the soft skill. So in your resume it should be very simple and it should be saying straightforward, this is you are, and this is how you are going to evaluate it based on that. No more than that, no less than that. Okay. So maybe you can, there are some tools like Overleaf, Novo Resume, and Canva where you can build your resume. And these are the some standard clean resumes which is being there in the industry. So here it's for an experienced person, but here you can remove the experience section and you can keep it for your internship ones. Okay. You can keep the internship or the implant ones to be, you can replace it and you can keep it. Okay. If you want, you can take a screenshot of it. And like this sentence is there, right? Here here it should be mentioned in a way that like what value you are going to provide as an individual to a company. That is what it should be there. There should be no, like as I said, like there should be not like I'm a strong independent passionate guy who loves coding and like can work in a way. In that way it should not be there. It should be there like, hey, I know Java. I can optimize the, like I have optimized the APIs from 1 second to 500 ms, and I'm very versed in writing queries, so like that queries work in very optimized way. That level of value added sentences should be there. And metric level added sentence, this wordings is very important. Again, I forgot to cover. Your resume should have value added contents and metric contents. Metrics are such that like this is say, like I said, you have reduced, like when you are working in an internship or like in an implant training, I have reduced this API standard reduction time from 5 seconds to 2 seconds. It is nearly 50% optimized. I have done 10 more, 10 plus projects. This level of numbers there, right? That are the catchy thing which will, it will bring in the attention of the recruiters quickly. Okay. It's worth mentioning that one. Okay. So that is the standard template which of resume which is being used in the industry. You can take a screenshot if you want. I will give a couple of seconds for that. Okay. Moving forward. Okay. Your online presence. This one, I hope everyone would be having that LinkedIn and GitHub profiles of yours. Hope everyone would be having an account in that, obviously. If not, You are in your fourth year, and still if you are not having a LinkedIn account and GitHub account, means you are very left behind. So kindly at least create it now. So that's where you would be getting a second chance, or like a with second visibility other than the college of what you are doing or like who you are. Just with an empty profile of a LinkedIn or empty profile of your GitHub will not get placed or somewhere. Even if you're like you, there will be section in your resume to say this is your LinkedIn, this is your GitHub. The recruiter might go inside and see what contributions you have made, or like how interactive you are with the people in the LinkedIn, what are the posts you are very interested in, what's your mindset. On that level of data they can gather from your profile, and they can say like, okay, this candidate might be fit for our role. So in that level of analysis, a LinkedIn tool can do, as they have the premium of it. And GitHub will mostly will show the consistency of your coding. Your GitHub is just a coding bank of what you're going to store, but it will show you the consistency of, okay, the consistency you are showing daily for the code which you're going to do. Okay, you can, like, as you can see, this is known as states, like the stats which they say like, how many commits you are doing daily. And like maybe a quick question, how many of you aware what is git, and like you have written, like you have typed a command in your terminal with git starting? Can you raise up your hands? Hello? Everyone there, or like you went for your dinner? Like maybe I'll repeat my question. Like can you guys raise up your hands if you have ever like used Git in your terminal, or like Git in your project or so and so, for the version control of your project, push the code in GitHub, or like created a repository. Majorly you have used Git. None of you have used? That's quite surprising. Maybe consider doing and see that, because that is one of your industrial tool that is being widely used for your code management and version control. Okay, consider learning that also. That is where like your online this online presence again, it adds a star to your resume. That's it. Okay. Okay, this is like maybe like I will give a high level of it. Like the standard, like when I was there, like in the 2024, like when I was getting placed, how the company rounds were there, it was standard. You would be having the proctored exam of aptitude. You'd be having a coding round. Then you would be having the uh, technical round. Then you will be having, if needed, they will keep a second technical round, and you will be having the final HR round of the managerial round, they will be saying, and you will be getting the offer letter. That would be the simple thing. Okay, these rounds have been technically, like, as there are more competitions and there are evolvement of the technologies such as AI in that way, so the rounds are getting changed. Okay, some companies, what they do means they keep a hackathon round in the first level itself to filter out. These are the students. They skip the first aptitude and coding round, and they keep a hackathon. There are companies like Infosys, and Infosys keeps its Hackify, and Cisco keeps sometimes of it. And there are some companies, they suddenly announce a hackathon, they will recruit the people and they will get it done. So that they skip all the interview process and they will do it. Okay, so that level of things also now happening. So maybe I will like first, like now every screening is happening, as you know, AI has been involved in everything. Like your AI comes in place first with your AI proctor. In some companies they skip the first two rounds and like directly they go for a hackathon, and they choose the winner and they proceed further. Okay, the technical round. Maybe what is the next slide? Okay, next is the technical round. Maybe I will go deep in that slide. So technical manager HR, like now it is being there like as one of your friend asked, the system design. The system design will be there in the low level only. It will not be there in the high level for a fresher. Okay, that you can trust me in that. The next level is like the same for the freshers. sorry, for the freshers it will be there in the manager level of like how you would be working in a situation if you're putting under the pressure, what conflicts you have resolved in your when you are working in your projects along with your teammates, that level of behavior questions, and like how you are working under the pressure, or like what are the decisions which you have taken in your life that you feel like that are worth mentioning. In that level of manager, like usual managers will be manager rounds will be there. Okay. Okay, technical route. Again, when I starting, as I said, it is not an exam, or like it's not a thing like the opposite person is having a question and you are going to just answer for their question. That age is gone. Okay, so it is going to be like a conversation, or like a technical discussion you are going to have with the peer person or the peer interviewer you are going to have. Okay, so whatever there, maybe like I will take a simple example like of this Google itself. You can like what happens when you hit the google.com, right? So there itself your architect, like your decision will happen. You will explain, he will answer. Okay, you sorry, he will question. What it happens in that way means you can say in, if you know the answer you can say obviously. If you don't know, like then maybe I will give you a quick tip in this. If you able to not answer that one means, try to relate it something along with that, like orals, or like if you're means you can say no. There is no nothing's wrong in saying no in an interview, because you would be saving time of the interviewer, that he might really consider thinking like, okay, at least he didn't waste my time like saying like something which is irrelevant to the question, and like wasted the time of the interview. He might start to like, let's say like asking you like what www.google.com, and like you are in between, you're not able to answer it. Okay, he might consider stopping that, and he might ask questions in another topic which you might have known. Okay, he got a question. While explaining the answer for the question they ask, it is okay to use real life metaphor. Actually, they ask like, can you relate it with the real world examples? And you can say, it's good to say that. It's not a wrong thing. Okay, actually, but you should be able to, you should be correct in that. That is the first thing. Okay, if you are taking that, if you are strong, like okay, if I'm explaining this theory with a real life example, that is which is correct, it means you are good. But it goes in a blabbering way, or like it is going in a not in a correct director way means, you're obviously wasting the time which you had. Your time is obviously will be a 40 minutes or 50 minutes on of an interview. Okay, at least if you're correctly saying that example, and if you are impressing, that means well and good. But if you're feeling like the topic is like a dead end for you, and like with a real life example, if I'm saying mean like it is getting but means, I would not suggest to go with that flow. Okay, you can directly say no to them, and they might consider like, okay, let's test this person in another topic, so that like we can consider like all the technical managers or all the technical persons who are taking interview, their mindset will be is to only hire you only. Okay, wow, that is the first thing you should remember. They will not come in a mindset like I should reject 10 people today and only hire five. Okay, the game will be there, like how you would be marked in the level of, okay, this person who attended will be the first, second, third, five. Okay, the top five we will pick it. That is how it will be there. And you will be get missed out when you are not getting the chance to prove yourself in that particular ample amount of time which you are getting. Okay, wow. So if you're feeling something like you don't know, and like you are feeling like you can ask any other questions, and that means you can directly say that I'm like somewhat little beginner in that thing. You can ask any questions in that, and like I can answer you. Or you can say these are the things I have done in this one, and like I'm very strong with that means, they might start to ask question in that, and they might think like, okay, this guy might be fit for this, like not for this role, but another role which has been already, which has been open for a fresher. So they might think that way. Okay, so approach an interview in that way. Okay, okay, we got diverted from this question, but this is one of the thing. Okay. Okay, this one like when it comes to a coding, okay, this I wanted to say like when it comes to a technical round you are going to code, don't jump into coding without properly getting all the details from the interviewer. Okay, Let's take a simple example. Your interviewer have said, right, write a program to reverse a number. Okay, what you will think? Okay, you are going to get a number, reverse it. He might, you should like how your thinking should be there. I'm saying you should get the constraints first. Constraints are the thing. What is the nature of the input he is going to give? These kind of questions will impress the interviewer, like he is interested to solve the problem with the logical approach, not just blindly jumping into the program. Okay, just try to like stop and like what is the nature of the input, like it will be a negative number or it will be just a positive number. If in case of in that way, what is the positive range and negative range of that number, because this will help you to determine the data type of the number. In that level of questions you can ask. So whether like he can say like uh, okay, this is the intuition, like this is the boundaries which are going to there. So that you can clarify with that. Why if I'm saying is you can jump into the code directly. It's just you can think like, okay, reverse number, simple code I can start, and like you are doing. He might say after that like, okay, what if the number is negative, means again you need to rub the code and you need to change. You will be your mindset, your brain will not be suddenly ready to think in that pressure moment, like okay, now what if I'm doing this code, means this code will adapt to the negative number. Then you need to, you will strike something, you will include something. So that will make a mess obviously. So whenever you're like in a technical interview, try to get all the inputs and all the nature of the inputs before well in hand. Okay, why? Because then you can adapt your code in such a way, even if he's saying like optimize this one also, you can be able to do like, okay, now I got the inputs are not going to change. Okay, wow, he's want to optimize it. If he is saying like, okay, if the input is getting different in the next step, like you have got all the inputs and you have coded, he is saying, okay, now let's say it's a second, it's obviously it becomes a second program. Okay, wow, he's saying like, okay, let's change the input to different hexadecimal value. How, what will happen in that way, means you're it's changing into a different program. Obviously you need to touch this one. You can ask the inputs detail of that one, and you can start to code the next one for that one. Okay, so see how this level of procedurally it will change. Okay, when you are very clear with the inputs of your program, or like the intuition what you are going to build based on the inputs of something. Okay, that is how it should be there. So that is why I say it as a conversation you are going to have with the candidate, with the staff, with the technical interviewer. It's not the question and answer session. You're going to ask, okay, this is the input, means what is the nature of the input? He will be happy enough, like, okay, he's getting clarified with the doubts. He's clear on what he's going to do. That will impress the person. And like, if you're feeling like, you can think for, like, you got all the details. You are thinking like, okay, you have built the institution. You can ask him like, okay, this is how I'm going to do. And you can say like, first I'm getting the input. I'm checking some validations I'm doing, then I'm going to use a while loop to while loop to reverse the number. I'm going to return it. This is the approach I'm going to follow. In that way, if you're giving a glimpse also, he might also involve like, okay, you're going to use in this. Okay, why can't we use the for loop here? Why can't we use a do while loop here? So that level of interactions can happen. Yeah, we can use, not a problem. Anyway, it is going to do a same iteration, right? Like that, it is just a conversation you're going to have with the person, not a question and answer session. That you can clarify, like that you should be clear in your mind before entering into a technical round. Okay, that is one thing. Stay calm, like that is one of that is obviously like that calmness will come obviously like when you are attending more technical interviews, or when you are attending more mock interviews. Okay, the first level of first, obviously attending the first technical round will be obviously a tense one. I agree to that, but usually it get builds up when you are like very good, or like how you are like getting leverage of, okay, this is how the tension should be there. That seat is going to be hard. I'm going to handle it. That's how it should be there. Okay. And one of the things which is there is dry run and edge cases. This dry run edge cases is like after edge part. Like let's say like you got the inputs and like you got the output. Okay, you can think for some time, like you can say like I have some more inputs like that also this code will handle. You can come up with the edge case. Edge cases are the something that are the rare scenarios that can happen in a program when like it's not a normal case, it's a rare scenario that can given as an input to the program, then how the system will react to it. That is the edge case of a program or edge test case they will say. Okay, that also you can think, let's say like the input constraint you have given is integer only, but let's say if you are given a long, then obviously the overflow error will occur. So what I have did, I have checked the number in the initial state of the program itself, like saying if the number range is like greater than the integer range, means I am throwing a error code. It's a overflow error, like that I'm handling that level of like your involvement on the code, like to handle the edge cases also will give you a better image onto the technical person. Any doubts in this, or any scenarios you need to discuss? Or like any of the persons who have already attended the technical interview and you feel like this is the part like I felt tough, or like if I'm getting the chance again, how to uh, approach it in a better way in the next interview, anything like that to be discussed?
Sir, some tip for communicating efficient.
Communication efficiently in the sense of in which place?
Like while we are in front of the HR or some of any company person or making any presentation in front of them like that, how it could able to improvise it in efficient way, effective.
Okay, first thing, maybe I will take this questions to be answered in a scenario where you are there. Okay, I will take in a scenario like, let's say they are giving a pre-placement talk. Okay, on the pre-placement talk they would be giving the presentation on what their company does, what they do, so and so. Okay, if you are getting a chance to ask a question, okay, you can ask what are the tech like you can it should be like what you are going to ask to the company is like they should know that answer. Okay, obviously like how it should be there means, maybe a simple example, maybe with an example I will say, you can ask questions like hey, like what do you think about the AI boom that is happening? How your company is getting adapted to that AI, or like how you guys are getting scaled up? If you want to scale up in a skill, like what you do, like as an experienced person, or like what you will advise us for get expertise in a thing which is getting boom now. In that way, you like it should be like you are feeding your hunger, that questions that should be in that way. Okay, so like obviously if you are taking the first step to answer a question, like you are taking a first step to asking a question itself a success for you. Okay, I see like here itself, like take here itself. There are few persons only you're taking your voice to ask a question, right? There itself, like you are breaking your first barrier of like in your life, like okay, I can ask a question and like nothing's wrong in that. Okay, so that is where your first steps begin. If you are starting to ask the question, automatically you will get the content of what should be asked. First, take the step. That's the best advice I would say.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay, maybe I'll go to the next. This is obviously like the happy path. Okay, maybe I just felt to keep this as a last slide. Why? Because like these things most usually like you will not know in your college time. Basically, when you're getting, you'll be busy in the theories and placements. Few students might involve on like knowing what is how to improve your money in that way. And like when you're getting an offer letter, like obviously like there might be some ample amount of time of weeks or months they might be saying you to come after that. Okay, meantime you can feel like they'll be calling that as an unemployment era, right? So that unemployment era you can utilize in that way, like You can enjoy, obviously, that is not a problem, but still try to upskill yourself, because the doctor profession or the every profession, I'm saying, like doctor profession or engineer profession, daily something is happening and daily something is evolving. Okay, like new diseases are coming, new technologies being obviously getting evolved. Okay, so in that case you can try to improve on that slowly in that way. And the some of the fundamentals, like I asked Git, that which is being used as a version control tool in all the enterprise technology companies to push, to maintain their codes in the GitHub or any of the code repositories. Okay, that you can start to learn. There are some Linux SQL things, and like start to learn some basic things like in English, right? Mail writing, script writing, because like that's just soft skills, right? Even like now they are not going to judge you, there are AIs to write, obviously, but that small things will help you. Okay, and try to be ready of what is your CTC will be there, what is your in salary will be there. That calculations you can do later, but try to be ready on like to get surprised, or like to not get surprised, I'm saying, or like how to efficiently plan that financially, how we are going to allocate your funds, that you can start planning in that way, I'm saying. And like as I like in the last way there, keep learning. The rest tests, real test starts at the day one. When you're joining in your company of day one, you will feel like what you have done is like it is done, and what you're going to do will be completely different of what you're going to do. That first day of Dilma will start. Okay, so at that time you will feel like whatever you're going to do, you will feel like you will be studying it again, or like you need to see a reference of it again and do it again. So that Dilma will be there, obviously. So it's just a short advice of like from me after if you're getting a short offer letter. So yeah, like I'm done from my side. Like if you guys have any questions, we can speak for some 10 minutes and we can wind up. Floor is yours, guys. Anybody?
Everyone is open for questions, pa. So you interact with your speaker.
Maybe anything, like whatever you like. How many people here have attended the companies? Like even if it is round one or round till you have got a chance to attend round one and get rejected even round one also. Can you raise up your hands?
Varshasri, you can unmute and you can ask.
Yeah, maybe you can say like you can ask like where you felt like it got wrong, and like what was the company. Maybe I can share some tips for the others.
Uh,
Students, this is a platform where you have to open your mouth. Don't hesitate. Just put in your questions, clarify your doubts, ma.
Sir, I have
Hmm.
attended for secure in first round. So I have selected for the cyber security domain. So in that round, I have got MCQs and scenario based questions and one coding question. So
Okay.
I felt I have did pretty well in MCQs and coding question, but
Hmm.
I have rejected in first round. So I have felt that I have lagged in the scenario based questions, sir. So, is there any tips to give more efficient answer for scenario based questions if I encounter in upcoming companies, sir?
Okay, so as you are there in a domain specific way, so first things you should be knowing that like you should be like you like first of all like I should say like you have find out the way like where you are feeling lag. Okay, that first step you have did. I congratulate for you that. The thing is now you should take all the case studies which is present in your domain. Like for example, some like if I'm able to recall SQL injection, or like how hackers take the cookies, and like let's say the cookies of your user is being taken, how they can exploit that. There are scenarios like what is meant by token, JWT token, how it helps. So in that way, there are multiple scenario based. Okay, obviously the answer you know, right? You should see the scenario based questions now further. Okay, but like it should be there like how the industry is affecting. As you are there in a cyber security, you should be able to, you should be uh, in a way that the day to day whatever the types of attacks have been happened, or like why, like what are the viruses or like the threats are there, even there are some outages been happening. So that kind of things you should be get real in updates. If you want to read real in updates, there are obviously the first place you can go as a free is YouTube. And there are some newsletters which you can subscribe, and like they can send you the mail, they will send you a mail like what happened, like in that way you can read. Maybe I can share you some later, like I'm not having in mind those. I will share you like later if with the staffs, like and like I will share you guys. Okay, that type of letter templates there, they will there will be latest updates. And I think obviously you guys will be there in Instagram. Okay, so there start to follow pages which post content in that way. I personally follow most of the pages in that way to get the daily details, like what are the things happening, or like this threat is happening, what, because we our mind is now completely got adapted to the short form content, correct? So than seeing a long form content, like when you're seeing a short form content and getting a glimpse, right, that glimpse itself will be a spark for what to do, what to get answer for that question if you're getting in the future. So you can start, your answer is obviously you should start focusing on the scenario based questions, and like you should be aware of what are the scenarios are happening, and theoretically what are the solutions they have applied, and like how it is being there in the, how it is feasible, and how it is there, like in that way, to be specific. Yeah.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Hostel students, I know your dinner time is 8 o'clock. Don't worry, I will leave you before that.
No. Any other questions, students?
Maybe like I will give you one thing on like what are the thing, like I didn't get a chance to share that after taking a mock interview. Maybe I will share that in the space in a common way, like what I felt. I think like you guys have all, like you guys have exposed over to AI more than doing your stuffs or like finding solution for the stuffs. I hope many of like even like I mean most of us would have get into things, right? Coming to a corporate and like, I mean not in the corporate, like come getting placed and doing the things in the corporate or in your office is different. But this time it is the part where you learn the things. Okay, at the time of learning, if you are using the AI and you are getting the things done, simple thing is to say is the term called vibe coding. Okay, vibe coding you can do, I'll not say wrong. Okay, but you should know what it is doing, or like you should know like what it is doing. This is the first thing. Okay, second thing is if it is a bug, it is there, you'll be able to obviously fix it just in a one line. But what error it is coming, what that system does, why it is doing, like how that decision, whatever what you have to take it, you are giving it to the AI hand. So obviously you will not know anything out of it. Okay, so what it will happen in a long run is you will get used to it. Okay, even now in profession, whoever they are getting struggle once they are started to use LLM and directly start to code, means they are getting struggle to think like what is the syntax for this, I forgot. In that way, level of remembrance they are getting. At the time of college level, I will not suggest to go behind the AI for doing the things. Obviously, you can use the AI for learn. You can ask for like explain me this topic in a simple English term or in an understandable way. It will help you try to utilize it in that way. But never, like I would suggest never to get a solution for that, or like you can get, even you can get it for a solution, but don't just apply it. as it is. Try to understand it, try to observe what you're getting through it. Okay, that is the main thing that I would suggest in this AI era. You can get certifications in the AI, whatever. So why I didn't involve AI in this PPT much is in the college level, AI is like not that much of an important in your stuffs. Okay, you can learn AML models and you can do that is different stuff I'm speaking. Okay, that is different level. As your guys are there in the CSE, I'm saying AI projects you can do, AML models you can do. That is different. But utilizing the AI in your day-to-day life to do such things will obviously deprove your sorry, it will affect your memory power, or like you'll not be able to approach the problem. Your mind will suddenly feel like I need an AI to solve this, or like what to be done. It will be in a not restful state, like how to approach the problem. That approachness, like first step to take that itself, you will not be able to do. You will feel like I will write a prompt to get. You will not be able to get that. So it's a piece of advice from me, like. Start to like less dependent on the AI in your learning stuffs of doing this. Try to apply it in your way, get it done, use it for just help, use it as a helpful tool just to improve your memory or improve your coding standard or improve your life. That is one of the thing I will say in this. And yeah, that is it. So yeah, thank you so much for who like stayed till there. How many members are there? Okay, it started at a 66 and it is present as a 38. Okay, thank you so much for this 38 members for still being in the audience. You were great, and like there were some questions which were very mindful questions to be answered. And like you can guys connect with me in your LinkedIn, and this is my mail ID. If you want to be keep in touch, you can keep in touch. And like if you have any need any guidance or doubts to be clarified or help, sure, you can connect with me. I will be available all time. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. You guys been really a great audience. Yeah, thank you, staffs and college, for this wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much, Karthik, for the insightful and inspiring session. So we are sure that today's interaction has provided a valuable industry exposure and motivation to all the participants. And I sincerely thank the management, our respected principal sir, Dean Research sir, and Dean Academics sir, and our head of the department, Dr. Rajaguru sir, for their constant support and encouragement. And a special note of gratitude to all the faculty members and students for your active participation and enthusiastic involvement throughout the session. So once again, I thank Mr. Karthik for sharing your valuable knowledge and experience with us. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Karthik. Thank you very much, Karthik, for
Yeah,
an
thank you,
insightful
everyone.
session. Hmm.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
See you.
Thank you, Karthik.
Good night.
So,
Bye-bye.
you back in our college campus. So I thought like from July the semester will begin. So you can come to college, you can share your insights. Obviously, you can come with your team, Jagdish as well as Muthu.
Yeah,
You people are the pillars of our CSE department of 2024 batch. Obviously, I know it. So you can come and you can share your insights. So we expect our students will come up with full of placements and all stuff. Thank
yeah,
you.
sure, Seth. Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for the words.
Thank you, Prasad sir, for giving this opportunity for hosting this event. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Thank you,
Have a
Karthik.
great. All the best for your future endeavors. Yeah, bye-bye.